it's a new year and you're probably already overwhelmed with everything you want to work on in 2026. You are being bombarded by everything I made in 2025 videos, which is not helping on your knitting to-do list, but let's talk about that elephant in the room. You probably also have a lot of lingering WIPs. I'll be showing by example how you can organize all your WIPs to get a bit of a clearer mind and a little bit of a smaller to-do list for 2026. Before we start, hey, I'm Fem, I'm the face and yarn dye behind the Mindful Creators. I have been knitting for over about 3 years, crocheting a little bit longer, and I also sew. I am a certified non-monogamous knitter, so if anyone knows how overwhelming it can be to have a ton of projects, it for sure is me. For monogamous knitters, the idea of having a ton of projects stresses you the heck out probably. For me, as a non-monogamous crafter and knitter in general, and probably you if you're watching and you're non-monogamous, you know what kind of creativity and joy it can bring. Like limiting myself, putting deadlines and rules on myself and my projects just kills my creativity and joy, honestly. However, of course, too many projects is also overwhelming. So that is kind of what happened here. We have to figure out what I have going on right now, and you're probably in the same boat, so we can do this together. The plan for this video is to take out all my WIPs that I have going on. We're gonna do a little Marie Kondo, you know? All the WIPs are scattered throughout my yarn / WIP pile storage behind me, and then we're going to put them in chronological order. This is also something that you can do, maybe at the same time or after watching this video. I think it's gonna really help. What I'll be doing is putting them from oldest casted on to newest. Well, it's probably the other way around for you, newest casted on. And then we're gonna see what I actually have. And I think it also will be really good to see what are the oldest casted on WIPs, like lingering WIPs, abandoned WIPs. Do I still enjoy them? Do I still want to finish them? Maybe there are even things that I don't really want to work on anymore. I think a WIP purge is really something you should do every once in a while. If you have a ton of projects, it really clears and it really helps and just takes the pressure off knitting, crocheting, crafting in general. I'm going to start with my knitting, crochet, that's all in the same pile. It's like 90% knitting, maybe 10% crochet first. That is also really how I spend my crafting time the most. Knitting, I'm definitely primarily a knitter. I do really enjoy sewing now also. I don't have a ton of time for it. I started sewing in 2025. I mostly quilt / make like small bags. I don't really sew clothes because that stresses me the heck out, honestly. It's gonna be a separate category. We do that at the end. It's just a few projects more for my mental, like I can make some mental notes, what I have exactly going on and what I can work on. So I think that's it. Let's get to it. Alright, I'm really putting myself out there here. I don't have a perfectly aesthetic craft room and that's okay. We live in a small apartment and this space has slowly become home to a lot of my projects. In a way, that's actually part of why I wanted to make this video. Like, things aren't perfectly organized right now and I'm still really figuring out what works for us. But that's honestly a project for another day. But I'm giving myself permission to let it be unfinished for now. You know, so if that's something that you also have, that's okay. If you're planning on organizing your own works in progress after watching this video, I want you to hear this clearly. There is no perfect number of WIPs to have. Everyone crafts differently, everyone creates differently. You don't need to feel guilty about the project you have started or the pace you're moving at. With social media nowadays, it can be really easy to start to put pressure on yourself because you're seeing other people doing it differently. This time of year, you might also see a lot of talk about no-buy years or only crafting for stash or completely downsizing everything. And if that works for you, that is wonderful, but it is not a rule you have to follow. Your creative journey doesn't need to look like anyone else's. The same with like the pace that other people craft at, it also counts for this. You are allowed to do things your own way, craft in a way that feels joyful, fun, and kind to yourself. Just don't forget that. Okay, at this point, I started to realize I definitely have a bit more WIPs than I had in mind. I kind of really knew, but also seeing it all together, it was starting to get a little bit overwhelming. But I was trying to not put any pressure. Same for when you do this. Just put them out there, just see them together, because after this we're going through everything. I decided the couch was probably the best place to lay everything out. It's where I have the most space and I could really see all the projects at once. I think I've already mentioned it earlier. If not, I mostly keep track of my projects in Ravelry. I use Ravelry primarily for really keeping track of my projects, knowing when I started them, what yarn I'm using, needle size, everything like that. Hello. Okay, all my projects are now laid out on the couch behind me, and I knew I had quite a bit, but it is definitely more than I had in mind too. So that's why I do a WIP purge, because there's no reason why I should have so many projects. Oh, we have audience, by the way, she's here with me. I probably could be busy with this for like the rest of the year, which I don't really want to be. I also want to work on new projects, new kind of patterns that come out. So we are gonna go through it. We're gonna do a rapid fire. We're gonna go through every project, but only really quickly, because otherwise this video is gonna be like an hour long, which we don't want. The earliest project that I found was from July 2023, and that is actually my northeasterly blanket. I'm going to frog this. I have worked on it back then a little bit. We have an audience here down here. It's just not, I just don't want to work on it. That's just kind of it. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, do you want to see it? This is how far I got. I don't even know what's in here. There's a needle in here. Oh my god. Okay, I was actually looking for these needles. So this is how much I got done. It is kind of special to me because these first two, or first few colors, first 5, are for my first ever hand-dyed yarn collection. So I'm probably gonna save that yarn for something else. What are you doing down here? What are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna put this one away. This one is gonna get frogged. This one is out of the whip pile. Hey, 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 hey! It's gonna be a very long video like this. The next one is actually in this really cute little case. It is actually from myself. This is actually a case that I used when I was, how old was I? Well, probably like 2-3 years old, and I found it. I put the yarn in it. This one I'm not gonna finish. This is an Oslo hat. This is in the color Cotton Candy. I don't know if you can really see this, it may be a little bit overexposed. With my Soulful Sock and Miss Sokomo are held together. I might finish it, I might not. I'm just not. I have enough hats, so probably not gonna finish that. I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile. I'm just gonna make some piles with definitely gonna be finished, frogged, and maybe I just put it on the ground here. Next one, also a maybe. This is also really like the oldest projects that I have. 2024 probably. I started a scrappy blanket. It is really, really cute actually. I held it together with my own Soulful Sock, which is my sock base, together with Drops Flora, just to make it more cohesive. It's a maybe. I don't know. The edge is really, as you can see, it's really tight, so it really bunches up. It's a maybe. I have another scrappy project at the go right now. I'm not gonna frog this. I'm just gonna keep this for whenever I want to work on it. The next project is also one of my oldest actually. I just realized it's from November 2023. It is this half sock actually, which is actually a collaboration. I hope you can see this really exposed. I have a big light on. It's from a collaboration with Little Fiber Co. with Lauren. She is the best. If you don't follow her yet, she's an amazing dyer from the United States actually. We did a collaboration with the video call, my community group, where also both of us made our own limited edition color. I made this on a needle which I don't make socks on anymore. It's 2.5 millimeter. I do my socks on 2.25. So I would frog this, probably put this yarn into stash for whenever I want to make a pair of socks with it, because it is so cute. Again, it's really overexposed. I think it's this beautiful green with blue and pink, and yeah, I really love it. So it's gonna go in the frog pile, just so I can knit it again on the better gauge and make it eventually. You're gonna see a bit of a theme here of unfinished socks. I really was doing well with second sock syndrome, as in not getting it, but yeah, there are a lot of unfinished socks. These are my birthday socks from 2024. Yeah. No reason to not finish them, I just have to work on them. This yarn is from La Bien-Aimée. My boyfriend got it for me when he was in Barcelona. So it's special because of that. I literally have a heel and a foot to do. So this is gonna be in the sock pile to work on whenever I want to work on socks. And I'm definitely gonna get this finished because I also want some extra socks. I've been wearing a lot of my hand knit socks lately. Another pair of socks. I only have one sock here, which is finished. This is in my own yarn, which is my birthday color for 2024. So I kind of have 2 pairs of birthday socks. The other one I casted out on my birthday. This is my own hand-dyed yarn that I did as a limited edition sock set for my birthday. The other sock is in the studio. It's like half done, needs a heel and a foot probably. So that can definitely be finished, not a priority. It is really fun though. I think this color was called Raspberry Lemon Cheesecake, something along those lines. Can be in the sock pile. We're finally going to something a little bit more exciting, as if you're not a sock knitter, I get that those are not the most exciting projects. This is a project I really need / want to work on, but it's just not the most mindless for me, and sometimes I just want a mindless project. This is actually, I'm gonna see if I actually have it on the cables. This is the Esther jacket by Petite Knit. I bought this yarn as a gift for myself at one of my craft fairs I did last year. No, 2024 actually. I think this is from November, October 2024. There's a reason why it's still not finished, because it's just not mindless to work on. I hope it's very overexposed. It's super dark outside. Okay, look, there we go. Now you can see the texture. It's gorgeous. It's also beautiful yarn. It's made in Isager in the recommended yarn, so it definitely wasn't cheap. But it's gonna be something that I know I'll be able to work on for a long time. Guusje is doing the pause again. It's gonna be recurring in this video. A few of my friends actually want to work on a similar pattern, so there's a good chance we're gonna be working on this together as some kind of mini make along. So I'm gonna put it aside. I'm not gonna work on it immediately, but this will definitely, I definitely want to have this finished this year, because it's just such a good one, you know. This sweater has no reason to be lingering this long. It does have a little bit of a reason, but also has no reason to be lingering that long. This is actually the Hopelessly Devoted cardigan by Lily Kate France, and it is so close to being finished. I actually did a full sleeve. I did the decrease a little bit too much, so I want to take this out and do it again, and that is kind of the hurdle, you know. I stop my projects whenever there is a big mistake which I don't feel like fixing, so I grab another project that I have going on, or something like this. I just need to take it out, and when I'm tired in the evening, you get the feeling, you get the idea. I just don't feel like working on that and thinking too much. For this one, only the second sleeve, the cuff of one sleeve, and the bind off needs to be done, and then this will be done. This is made in Drops Melody, so it's super fluffy and soft. I just really put it, I need to put a deadline on this. So as I said, I don't love working with a deadline, but for this one, it probably is good if I had a little bit of like push to just finish it, because I just want to wear this and don't want to have it lingering this long. I also have a hat here which seems finished, but it really isn't actually. This is the Winter Cabled Beanie by Strikken Soffe, and it is gorgeous. I just made a mistake. Guusje is going around with my yarn actually. She loves to play with the yarn. I made a mistake. I forgot to do some of the repeats, so it's kind of like a child hat. I definitely don't fit it. That looks ridiculous, as you can see. Well, I could wear it when it's like this, but it looks a little ridiculous. So I kind of need to take it out or gift it to a child. I do have a friend with a small child, so maybe she would like it. And otherwise I just have to take that out. I think this actually worked bottom up, so I would have to take it out, rip it back to where I started the decreases and just do it. I'm just not excited about ripping something out and do it again, you know. So it's been lingering for a long time. I think I finished this last December, November, and it's just been like, yeah, I do it next winter season. And now it's winter season, so it will be a good project to do this season. Next up, we have 2 advent blankets. One of the blankets, you know it, you're gonna guess it immediately if you're a little bit on the knitting Instagram. I haven't taken this out in so long, but of course it is the Sweet Shell blanket. I actually got an advent from Het Wolbeest. It's a Dutch dyer. If you didn't know, I am Dutch. The Dutchies can smell the Dutch probably. And this is how far I got. Oh, it looks so good on camera, by the way. That is so fun. This was, I think, the Indian Summer Advent from 2025. Did I say that correctly? I feel like we made a big time jump now. No, 2024. Of course, 2024. And I incorporated almost all the 24 colors. As you can see, it is a fade. And what I did is that I zigzagged it, so it also goes like fade. I would have to do all the colors again, and then it will be a nice little lap blanket. This is one of those projects I just pick up whenever I really feel like it. I don't mind that this lingers, you know. This is something that I can just pick up whenever I want, drop down whenever I want. I wish I did a lighter base color though. I asked advice of the dyer, but she didn't really know the colors anymore. So I was like, oh, this is probably gonna work, but a more white or a cream would have been better. But still, I think it's cute. I'm not gonna rip this out. Hell no. Then for the second advent project, and also a blanket, is my own advent from last year. Last year I did my first ever mini skein advent, and it was the Gelateria Italiana themed, which means Italian ice cream, because I love Italy and I love ice cream. The idea was to do all kind of hexie squares. Is it called hexie squares? I think so. They are crocheted. I just randomly placed them, and I think I could get 3 squares out of each mini skein. I have this back left. I still can definitely do a few squares, but I'm probably gonna make this into a pillow, because as you can see, it's not really blanket sized anyway. Or maybe I will finish it and give it to Guusje as a blanket, but that also kind of feels wasteful. So I probably will try to make this into a pillow cover. And yeah, there are also lots of ends that needs to be woven in. Again, one of those projects that I just would have to put like priority on for like a month. Let's say in June, I'm gonna work on this and finish this. Because I can definitely finish this in a month. But this is just not something that is on my mind right now. Those are, like blankets, I'm fine with them lingering a little bit because it's not the most important part. Or pillow cover in this case. I rather focus on sweaters, socks, gift for others, and then do this in between. So I don't mind that this is still lingering. I went a little bit to this side because we are now in 2025 territory. All these projects have been casted on in 2025, and it's quite a bit. 2025 was kind of a different year of knitting for me. I've knitted very little in comparison to other years. One of the reasons is also because I was putting quite a bit of pressure on myself to always knit with my own yarn and also always be able to make a sample. And I started to get things sample knit in 2025. And that has been the best decision that I could have made for my own knitting. But also because of that, I was like, oh my god, I can take the pressure off. I don't feel like pushing my knitting at the moment. So I knitted quite little in the beginning of the year. And I think around the summer / fall, I really got my knitting mojo back. So the first project that I have here, I did cast on quite in the beginning. Also a project that's gonna take a long while. I don't mind that this is not finished. And the others are a bit more, I think all from fall season-ish. The first one that I have here is actually also quite a special blanket. Again, I am not much of a blanket knitter or crocheter, but you can see that those are the projects that are lingering and just take a long while. And I think, that, again, that's okay. This blanket is also special. I like some of my projects to have a bit of a special meaning. I think that's just nice. I also, when I go on holiday, I like to get souvenir yarn. So whenever I knit the yarn or wear the yarn that I made something with, it has a good memory, you know? This is actually a crochet linen stitch blanket that I started with yarns from my yarn dyeing workshops. So this year I started doing yarn dyeing workshops, and what I did after every workshop, at the end of a workshop, we made a new color with dye that was left over. So this color down here was from my first ever yarn dyeing workshop this year. And then you can see the second one here was from the second dyeing workshop. And we've actually already done 5 workshops, so I am quite a bit behind. I also got quite a bit of wrist paint this year again. It's been a while, but I did get it again, and that also started around the time I started this. Hence the state it is in. I would like to be able to catch up a bit on this. I already have, I said there are 5 colors that I can add in, and for every workshop I keep one skein for myself to add into this. So it would be nice to catch up a little bit. But again, one of those projects when I'm like, I really feel like not thinking about stuff, I'll pick this up. It's just one of those evenings I'm tired but I do want to do something projects. I said I would do a really quick show and tell, but it's taking quite a bit of time, so I will try to make it short for every project. The next one that I have here is the José hood by Noordgaard Knitters, I think it is. And it is quite far actually. This is a hood that you can put on, and it has a scarf attached so you can really wrap it around. As I said, got pretty far. However, I just got stuck in it because I feel like it's not turning out so well. I'll put it on. Don't laugh please. It looks really ridiculous. It is so huge and it just doesn't really hold that well. I had hoped it would hold a little bit better. Of course, there's still quite a bit of fabric that needs to be attached, but I don't know. I think it will mostly be nice when you have the hood down. Right now I only have to do the I-cord. Well, I do have to do a little bit more of the just simple garter knitting than the attached I-cord, and that's kind of it. So I don't think it will take a long time. I'm just not that motivated because I feel like it's not turning out that well. But it will just be nice to have it done, and then I see if I can wear it myself, and otherwise maybe I can gift it to someone that can get some good use out of this. Then my next project is a sweater that is in this adorable bag that I made myself. I also made this project bag myself, and there are a few more that are in here that I also made. I actually started a sweater with scraps. So this whole bag is filled with single skeins, a little bit of scraps that I wanted to put into a warm at-home sweater. However, I think I'm gonna frog it and redo it. I have a little bit more of that blue, actually, that light blue that I want to put in. And I probably want to change the direction of the fade that it's going. as in put in the blue later, because I also have a lot of beige. I don't really want it to stripe, I probably want it to fade mostly. So very cute. I also need to do it on a bigger needle. This is also self-drafted. I don't know what I'm doing. I kind of do know what I'm doing, but I also don't know how it's gonna turn out exactly. I know the neckline is gonna be too big, so it's gonna be frogged and then gonna be redone whenever I feel like working up these scraps. Here we have another sock. My mom started this. She didn't want to finish it. She gave it to me. Can you finish it for me? I don't know. I'm probably gonna finish it one day or another. It's a very different gauge. I'm gonna put it out. It's not even from 2025. I'm gonna put it somewhere else. And you guessed it, more socks. These are my 2025 birthday socks. This is my limited edition color, and the first time I did a striping / pooling color, and I love it. I normally, my yarns that I dye are like, they don't really pool, as in not on purpose. If they do, it has to do with the gauge and with the direction. This one was made to pool and I love it. I have, let me see, this is literally the only thing I have from the second sock, because I used it to use this to swatch. So I have like a full sock to make. Will be nice to have them done the next year. I really shouldn't cast on any new socks until I finish at least 3 pairs of the socks that I have going on. Next up is a project that is just in timeout. I really wanted to cast something new on for a holiday in October. I think we went on holiday to England, which was amazing. We did a road trip, but this was not mindless at all. Very beautiful though. This doesn't have to be mindless, but I don't really feel like working on it at the moment. This is the Twisted Twines, I think it's the Twisted Twines scarf from Adorable Knits. Beautiful design, something I've wanted to make for a long time. The yarn is from Woolen Twine, which is also gorgeous. It's not really my color, which I realized only later, which is just my fault. I thought it was so pretty, which it still is. Reason why I kept this yarn lingering for a long time, because it's so special and I really want to give it like a good project, and I think this is really fitting for it. Also with a coat, I feel like then it doesn't matter that much. I just love it. It's just very beautiful. Something that is just in timeout until probably fall. I don't feel like working on this at the moment. Maybe I'll pick it up when I feel like doing cables, maybe not. Another scarf, but like tiny scarf, you guessed it, it's the Sophie scarf. I made the Sophie shawl. I have never made a Sophie scarf actually, but when you do the Sophie scarf, this shawl, the bigger one, you can also do the scarf part. Got this yarn from England, our trip. This is, I don't even remember, it's a tweed yarn. It's from a very popular brand and I don't remember the name, I'm blanking on it. I wanted to have a teeny tiny scarf so I can put it on during working in the studio. So this is something I want to pick up pretty quickly actually, so I can have that to work in. It's just nice and cozy, and I think this color, well, I'm kind of wearing it actually right now, suits me pretty well. I think it's fun and cute. We're having another scarf, actually a shawl. I am not much of a scarf or shawl knitter at all actually. I really prefer knitting sweaters, and some socks also do prefer, like I do enjoy to do it, and that's also probably why the projects that you're seeing here are primarily no sweaters or those kind of things. This is actually, you might recognize it, the mystery knit along from West Knits from Stephen West. I've never done it. This is the first year that I was like, oh, it's really itching. Should I do it? Should I cast on? And I did. And I was really like knitting quite a lot on this, but I also was really busy in that period because I was releasing a new collection. I had to make swatches, something that you don't see here. I knitted and crocheted a ton of swatches for collections. So this is how far I got. It's just literally still at Clue 2. One of those edges, like one of those lines, it takes definitely just my evening knitting time, which is like an hour or 2 or something. Something I really want to finish the coming year, just work on it whenever I feel like it. It's really fun. It's all my own yarn, all Soulful Soccer Flowy fingering. I think might even be a mix between the two. We have, I'm just gonna quickly show it because the yarn is so good. We have this light lavender purple, not blue. The light is really overexposing here. It's really nice. Then we have a really light purple, which is called Lavender Fields. I don't really remember the name of this one. I'm blanking on it right now. Don't know. This is called, what is it called? It's from a summer collection, I know. Don't remember. I have a lot of colors. And this is from my latest collections, which is the Meet Me in Valaris collection, so for the Akatar lovers. And this is actually for Resend, and the color was called, we had High Lord of the Night Court for Resend, which, oh, this is Wingspan. This is actually for the Bad Boys, I thought it was really fitting. So these 4 colors are the palette that I went with. This is also not something that I really want to wear. It's just purely for the knitting experience of it. I think it's a lot of fun to knit. There are so many different textures. There's brioche, there's garter, there's lace. It's just a lot of fun to knit. This is not something I would wear. I do want to have it in my studio as like an art piece. So when this is finished, I want to block it and hang it up like really beautifully. I have a really big white wall that I could definitely use some artwork. So this is going to be an art piece for me. Now we're getting a bit more in the territory of things I want to finish soon. I want to finish all these things that I have here, but this is the most recent cast-ons from like October, November-ish. And I just want to finish them like quite soon. I have enough to knit on here at least. I had a feeling I didn't have many active whips, which is correct, but I do have a lot of whips in general. What we have here are socks for my boyfriend's grandpa. His grandparents are amazing. They're by now also kind of my grandparents. I've been in the family for over 5 years, and these people are so kind, so fun, so strong, so generous. I just wanted to make something for his grandpa because last year in November, there's a reason why it's still unfinished though. Last year in November, I was there when I had a fair for like 5 days. I was able to stay over. They took amazing care of me. And we were looking into a big basket of hand knit socks from his mother-in-law actually. So my boyfriend's great grandma. Most of these socks are have holes, they are quite worn out and are quite thick. So I asked him, hey, would you like some hand knit socks again? And he was like, yes, I would love that. I would love them to be thinner and I would love to be a light blue. So this is the type of light blue that he had in mind. This is actually a new pattern from Summerlee Knits that I'm making. I don't know on top of my head what it is. Let me look it up for you. This is one of the socks from the True Crew sock set from Summerlee Knits. The reason why I eventually went for this pair is because it has a very different heel construction, which is great for a high instep. And I knew his shoe size, but I didn't know what type of feet or feet shape he had. I started on socks in November last year, ripped socks, then it didn't really work. Then I started on another pair, which turned out too big. I couldn't fit them on him, you know. And recently I was like, okay, I'm gonna start again. I wanted to have them finished for Christmas, but I was actually knitting on this a lot. I did a bit of a deadline knit with a friend of mine on the festive yoke pullover. So this kind of went to the back burner with other, I had too many gift knits ideas and I didn't finish them all. But the nice thing was I could already tell him that I was making them and let him try them on, and they are perfect. I need to have 10 centimeters more, 5 centimeters leg, 5 centimeters toe. And then I can start on the second one, and I promised him that these will be done the next time that I see him, which is probably, yeah, when will it be? They are not close to us. They are like 3-hour drive. So I'll probably see him again in January, February probably. So these are quite a priority after some of the other things that I have. And I'm going to be knitting on them quite soon. Then I have a sweater in this pile. You can see that I'm starting to get a bit of a favorite color, huh? This is going to be my work sweater, which means that I can wear it during yarn dyeing. It's a bit of a thicker yarn. Well, it's for sure a thicker yarn, if you can see. It is drops on this, I think. I bought this from Let's Knit, which is the yarn shop from a friend of mine. She sells everything drops and sandus garn. So if you're in the Netherlands, definitely check out her shop. She has great prices and super quick shipping and great service. And she's just a really kind person. So I got that yarn to work on this sweater. I'm actually timing it. I think I'm like 5 hours in or something, which is quite quick. I do think I'm gonna run out of yarn, but yeah, I can just text her and be like, hey, I need some more, and I will just order it there. Not much to say about it. I'm just gonna be working on this a lot. Then a very recent cast on are my Christmas socks for 2025. I love them so much. These are actually in one of my own colors. I do Christmas limited edition colors. This one is called Deck the Halls, and it is also a striping pooling color. It is actually made in a new base of mine, which is called Cozy Cashmere Sock, and it is delicious. It is so good. It has a tiny bit of cashmere in it, only 10%, but it makes them so soft. It doesn't really want to focus. I have one done and one I'm really close, only the feet, probably 2 times knitting on it and then it's done. So these are definitely an active whip at the moment. Then another project in here, you guessed it, sailor slippers. I had the plan to knit 5 pairs of sailor slippers for Christmas. I eventually got 2.5 pairs done. The others will be fine. For those people it didn't really was a deadline or a necessity immediately. I finished them for my boyfriend. I already made a pair for myself. Recently I finished them for my sister-in-law, and this is one of the two for my dad. So this is also something I want to finish quickly so I can give it to him next time that I see him. We'll see when that is. I have definitely more pairs that I can make and a lot of yarn for it. And then my newest cast on, we're definitely more in like the active whip territory now. As I said, I started this yesterday actually, which is gonna be a scrappy blanket for my dog. I wanted to do a scrappy blanket. This is also one of the things I'm like, oh, I'm itching to make something like this, but I don't want to make a full-on blanket, and I just want to work on it now, like literally now. You know, those feelings? That is probably what makes me a very non-monogamous knitter, or crocheter, or crafter in general. It's a little wonky. I don't really care. It's gonna be for my dog. I have a dachshund as you just saw, Guusje, and yeah, I'm just making this in the size that is nice to lay over top of her. And I'm working with all scrap yarns, mostly, or 99%, that is my own sock yarn that I have left from making all my swatches. So it's very cute, I think. It's just a linen stitch square, and I think she'll love it. Okay, now we've had all the knitting and crochet projects. I have a few sewing projects and some honorable mentions that we're gonna go through right now. First, a laptop cover needs to have binding. And that's kind of it. Next. Gonna do this quickly. I started this project for my studio as a little wall hanging. I have 3 blocks finished. These are my first ever quilt blocks. I might even make them into bags actually. Like project bags. Or maybe I will do another block and do like a 4-piece wall hanging. Not sure yet. Then a project that is almost finished, which is a quilt for my brother. I'm not gonna unfold it, it's very big. I have a little bit of quilting left to do, and I need to do the binding, how do you call it again? You know, the binding of the quilt. And then that is finished and it can go onto his bed. I have another quilt project here that is for our own house. It is made with a jelly roll. It's so much fun. I just slowly chipping away in the blocks. I will show a few of them. As I said, made with a jelly roll in like a farm kind of style. It's like a cutesy, farmish style. Really enjoy it. Then a few honorable mentions from different crafts that I like doing or sometimes do. This is one of them. It is really hard to see, but it is from Pixels, which is actually a Canadian company, I think. And you can do like sticker on number. Really fun. It's really tiny though, so I don't work on it a ton. You have to hold tweezers, which hurts my hand, but it's fun. Then this summer I decided I want to try embroidery, so I started this, and that's kind of where I left it. I don't put pressure on myself with all these crafts. It's just for fun, you know. Crafts should be fun. Something that I am working on quite a bit, and I'm already taking off a diamond, I think, is actually a diamond painting. I'm laughing a little bit about it because I think diamond painting has a bit of a certain image, I think, but I'm really enjoying this one. I'm working on it quite a bit actually. I don't know if you can see the glittery thing it does, and I thought this felt very fitting for my love of Italy lemons. I love it. It's kind of fun actually. So that was it. Of course I could do a whole planning part of this video, but I also know I am still a non-monogamous knitter. I want to knit on new things. I'm not gonna put big deadlines on myself. And if that means that I will still have some lingering whips at the end of the year, then so be it. I think crafting really needs to be fun, for me at least. I don't want to have the pressure. I don't want to be putting rules and deadlines on myself on something that just really should bring me joy, and think that you can keep in mind for yourself. If you're being a little bit hard on yourself, why? You don't have to be. It's all fun and games, and yeah, that's kind of how I see it. I hope this video inspired you to organize your own whip section. It definitely helps. Okay, I'm gonna close up for now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, creator!